morning, everyone. First and foremost, may I take this opportunity to apologize for our late start, because
previously, it was called the Medical University of Southern Africa, Medunsa. But we still call it Medunsa. Some of your teachers were saying, oh, you're from Medunsa. So Medunsa is a brand name to who we are. But like everything has to change for the better. And we went through a series of names. We became University of Limpopo. And yet we're not a Limpopo with the Medusa campus here. It didn't work out. So we had to go back on the bandwagon and get a new name. It was given to us, but we embrace it. We are not part of its origin, but we embrace it because it honored the second president of the African National Congress during the struggle days. It's not about the direction of politics that they are taking. It's about looking back and learn from those who gave us the foundation so that chances, opportunities can be better for all of us, especially you who are representing the community of Eersterust. Who was unable to be here today because of other commitments, Professor Robert Ndou, and the Department of Human Anatomy and Histology. I would like to welcome all of you doctors and your teachers. You are doctors, isn't it? Don't say no. You are doctors. At SMU, we call all our students doctors. Do you know why we call you doctors? Because doctor is the highest position that you can be. It's the highest position you can acquire. not necessarily in medicine, not necessarily in dentistry, not in engineering. Sir. This is a role model. Give me a welcome. Dr. McKenna is a role model for our community. I'll say a few words about him when I introduce him. As I was saying, we're welcoming also your teachers who are carving the journey for you. And we thank you for your positive response in you and your teachers setting aside this busy day in your school timetable to be with us. And we truly appreciate you. So I'm going to say few. Dr. McKenna is here already. And then I will hand over to Dr. Govender. But before I do so, I'll say a little bit about what is anatomy and why we are here. First, the house rules. If you look outside in the foyer there are toilets on the first floor, ground floor, and first floor. And there's also one behind the stage here for boys, for guys, for males. That will be remember, you're not learners for the doctors, that's for you doctors. And then for the teachers, the staff, and our invited guests, and our senior citizens, you walk straight as if you're going towards municipal offices where we pay rent. Immediately left, first floor, please use those toilets there. Everything's very clean to make sure that everything is. So let us say, what is this animal word called anatomy? Anatomy is a study of body structures, the ones that you learn in, we used to call it biology, now it's life sciences, isn't it? Something like that, huh? So you're not learning life sciences, your teachers are teaching you anatomy. At university, the doctors that you are, you just give it higher level. So it's a branch that investigates the organs, the tissues, the structures that are in all of us. And is divided into two parts. What you see is gross. What you don't see is under the microscope. And what develops. So that's essentially is anatomy. And you see later on when we are taking you through the models, you see what type of anatomy you are exposed to in high school, in primary school. Very same one that you will learn when you go to SMU, because we are waiting for you. Now, lastly, why are we here? We are here because we are celebrating World Anatomy Day. The International Federation of Associations of Anatomy, which is a worldwide body that all university departments are affiliated to, declared October the 15th in 2019, so it's quite recent, 4 years ago, as World Anatomy Day. But for what reason? It was to celebrate not the birth, but the death of Andreas Vesalius. Now, Andreas Vesalius is regarded as the father of anatomy. He lived at a time when the knowledge that we have now was not as good as it was then. It was during the Renaissance. It was in the 16th century. It's 600 years ago. But he's the one who made sure that now up to base. So we're celebrating. But because the 15th is on a Sunday, there will be a church taking place here. You will be with your parents enjoying your Sunday. So the 13th that is celebrated today is for convenience and it's for logistics so that you can have you here. Now, this day is celebrated in other universities, on their campuses. But then we decided to come to you because we love you. And there's something that I was about the courses that are offered. I'm always told, don't wait too much. So I'll stop there, and then I'm going to hand over to our able program director, Dr. Gavin.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So as Prof introduced myself, I am Dr. Govender. I am responsible for teaching the first year medicine group at SMU. So my colleagues at SMU is also going to go ahead and introduce themselves. They are responsible for teaching.
But two prides that I have. Firstly, I myself am from Eersterust. Grew up in 312 First Air Mapop. I myself. So, I myself am one of those people who were encouraged by the likes of the great Dr. Makena, first nurses around back in those days, Sister Jane Jeanette Paulson, Perry at the time. So one of my prides is being happy to just come back here and be able to share what we do in our spaces. My other second pride, but this is the number one, is I am the lovely Dayla's uncle, who's sitting somewhere here. Dayla. Yes. That's my other pride. Dayla, okay, anyway. That's my other pride, being her. Okay, so what I teach is human anatomy, as all of us teach, but particularly to a group of students, the radiography students, BRAC students. So if you've ever gone to hospital and you've ever broken a hand, or you've gone with your mother, she's gone for a sonogram or anything, radiography is basically a study where people take images of what you find in the human body. Right? So MRI scans and the likes. So basically that is what I teach. I teach students that do radiography. Thank you.
I'm Diana Pillay, Dr. Diana Pillay, and today I just want to introduce two people before I speak about what I teach. If you look on my right, you will see two people sitting there. Mr. Richard Wong from the Taipei government, and Cynthia James from First Light Foundation. We'd like to welcome them here because they are one of our sponsors for today, and we really appreciate your presence here today. So my responsibility in SMU, I am the postgraduate coordinator. So I deal with all the studies that involve postgraduate studies, that is research in the medical field. I also teach nursing students as well as medical students in second year. So those are my responsibility, and it's so great to have all of you here with us today.
Thank you, guys. Morning. I'm Ade Adebeshin, and my responsibility is to teach those personnel that take care of you when you fall sick suddenly, the emergency medical personnel. So when you call your ambulance, the people that are first to take care of you, we teach them the anatomy that they need to take care of you before you get to the hospital. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Mr. Smelane, also a lecturer in the Department of Anatomy, and I teach the ECP student, which is a foundation course for medical students. Thank you.
Morning, students. I'm Mrs. van der Walt. I'm also an anatomy lecturer. I teach anatomy to the nursing students, and we all aspire to be doctors, like Prof. Lebona said. But something that you should never forget, that a doctor cannot work without the hands of a nursing professional. They are the primary health care givers. They are the people that make sure that the people in the community take their medication and that you're well looked after in the hospital while the doctor do their rounds. So I teach the nursing students.
Morning, everyone. I am Dr. Adenal. I teach the occupational therapy students as well as work with PT students. So those are the ones that help you recover after your major surgeries and deal with sports injuries and things like that. If you look behind you, those are our lovely part-time staff members that are all busy with their PhDs and masters at SMU. So if you don't want to go into anything medical, you can also go into research like them.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Mr. Shonipo. Respect. I'm a principal lab assistant. My responsibilities in the museum. The museum, you can see you have some specimens here, models. I'm the one who's responsible for them. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. In my language, re dumelang. Le kae? Re teng. My name is Khomotso Tsiane. I'm a junior lab assistant. I work hand in hand with Mr. Shonipo. Thank you.
I love saying doctors to you. I just enjoy looking at you and calling you doctors because you are going to be doctors. Give a cheers to yourselves, please. I'm going to take this opportunity to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Victor McKenna. Dr. McKenna, can you come forward, please? You can see how young I am, eh? I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Victor McKenna, a well-loved and respected family practitioner and community leader in and outside Eersterust, that I've known as a friend and a colleague since I came to Pretoria and Medunsa in 1981. His biography reads like a book, but I will try to summarize it. Particularly that he's a very humble person and very modest, and he never likes to brag about his contribution to society. Dr. McKenna qualified with an MBCHB medical degree at Wits University in 1966. And he has since left his footprints in clinic run by the Good Shepherd Catholic Sisters in Winterveld, near Garankuwa, in the old apartheid Botswana days. When his eldest son, Kenneth, was only 6 months old in 1981. Kenneth is now 42 years, but Dr. McKenna continued to work at that clinic every Thursday for 37 years. That's a contribution that he made to the people of. Secondly, Dr. McKenna is a doctor to Sank. Center. We used to say disabled people. No, because a person who's disabled is not disabled, can do something. A person who's disabled is only challenged to be a better person mentally and physically. So we don't talk about disabled people. But yes, this is how it started, being and always being a doctor at Eersterust Training and Caring Center for Children and the old age home. And as you know, it was established by the sisters of the LCM sisters. Dr. McKenna is also a doctor to the familiar name Itch. Eersterust Association for Community Health. How many of our grandmothers are suffering from terminal illness? Our grandparents, sometimes young parents. And this hospice is the one that cares, where nothing can be done anymore, but you're closer to your family. And in those dying moments, Dr. McKenna is always the caring person there. Another organization that is very close to Medunsa, that he was part of, was an organization called MESAB, Medical Education for South African Blacks. He was on its board from its inception in 1985. At a time that bursaries were not available to many disadvantaged communities, the colored community, the African community, the Chinese and Indian community. But he sat on that board to ensure that a doctor like you, who doesn't have financial background, but has got an inspiration to become a health professional worker, whether it's nursing science, as you heard from Ms. Van der Veil, or dentistry or radiology. He was always there until the board and the organization closed its doors in 2007. So you can never talk about MESAB without talking about Dr. McKenna. The book is almost over. He has sponsored numerous medical students over the years, including our current professor and head of psychiatry at SMU. He was sponsored privately by Dr. McKenna. And Professor Soli Radamani, he's not the only one. I just mentioned him because he is from SMU, but there are others who are elsewhere. And Dr. Soli Radamani, to him, Auntie Wexie, and Dr. Victor McKenna have always taken him like a son to this very day. Grateful to them for his generosity. Last but one, he is a founder member of the Pretoria Medical Discussion Group, founded over 50 years ago by a group of Indian, colored, and African doctors in those apartheid days where knowledge was very scarce because the doors were not open in universities to be specialists. So instead, they said, we will teach each other. The one who's a specialist will teach others. We will groom one another. And he was part of it. And I'm just honored that in one of those meetings, which were held in different families' homes, I attended it. But much, much later. Lastly, on a personal note, Dr. McKenna has been a family practitioner to 3 generations of my extended families in Eersterust. My late mother-in-law, my wife, our 2 sons, and our 4-year-old grandson. He looks up to them. And he's still practicing in his 80s, in good physical shape, with a sharp mind, by the grace of God. And maybe he can share with us the secret of the fountain of youth. Dr. Victor, Dr. McKenna, may the Almighty continue to bless you and Auntie Wexie and give you the strength that you have given to this community as an exemplary role model. It is now my privilege and honor to invite you to address you.
Thank you, Professor Greg Lebona. Good morning, learners. I'm glad you guys have made it a point to be here, to listen to all these very qualified people who have come to inform you, first of all, about today, Anatomy Day, which actually is being celebrated a bit prematurely because it's going to be on the 15th, and to try and make you understand what it is about, that you have come, and I'm sure you are in the process of studying and so on, but we appreciate your presence. But I'm not going to stand and try and put a lot of words into your heads. You are studying, you've got other little things that you're thinking about. All I'm going to do is number one, confirm that what Professor Lebona has said about me, that most of it is correct. Some of the things might need a bit of editing here and there. So, but on the whole, it is where we are. And secondly, to confirm that SMU, the university that has sponsored or has decided to come to you to inform you about what it does, that is the Sefako Makhato University. They are very interested in you guys doing well at school, getting the necessary points, and being interested in doing the things that they have told you about, including anatomy. And they're also saying, our doors are open to you. Please come, but obviously, please come with the necessary points. Are you guys in the process of acquiring those points to be able to be admitted to a university? Definitely. Okay. If that's the case, maybe I should start, instead of just talking to you and making a speech, asking first of all, you guys know me, do you? Have I ever seen any of you at the surgery? Are there some that know me or have seen me personally? Okay, yeah. And the second thing, I would like, rather that you ask me any question that you'd like to ask concerning what you've heard today, and I'm going to answer it from my point of view. The rest of the university staff are going to probably answer other questions which you're going to set to them from their point of view. If you've got any question, anyone can stand and ask, and I'll be able to, or I'll try and answer it. Anyone with a question? I think that's the only way to try and get you guys also involved in this. Okay, let me ask you, how old do you think I am? How old? 100? Okay, let me give you a clue. Let me give you a clue. I qualified in 1966, okay? And I was 27 years of age. No, not 20, 23 years of age. And I've now been practicing for 55 years. More or less how old you think I am? Have you guys got cell phones? Okay. I'll answer that. I'm 80 years of age. I'll be 81 in December. So what I'm trying to do is to find out how concentrated you are about what you are hearing now. Are you opening your ears? Yes. Are you listening? Yes. Right. Now I've asked you questions, so I expect one from you guys. Anyone, anything. Think of something. About your health, about your... Okay, let me ask another question. Is anyone interested in studying in any of the health sciences? Any one of you interested? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, if you're interested, do you know which subjects? Do you know which subjects you have to be able to qualify? Give me an example. Life science, okay, what? And maths, okay. Chemistry. English, okay. Science, okay. So I've been asking the questions. Now I'm expecting a question from you guys. Give me at least one question. Een van julle staan op. Ona motho a kgonang ho well, yeah. I can study health science. Health science, you ruta Sesotho, I get it. Right? I ask the question. Okay, come nearer so that we can hear. What you tell me about your own? Okay, let is very admirable. Ons hou van hy. Dit is wat ons wil hoor. Mense wat vra kan vra, mense wat vra kan antwoord omdat hulle geleer het. Dit is part van die leerproses. Are you asking a question? Okay. Okay, the question is it nice to serve in the community? Right? After all, one of the things I have learned is that serving without people appreciating what you are doing is not actually serving. So I've actually learned more from the people about what service is than I could personally bring into the process. So if you want to serve, learn about the people that you want to serve. That's it. Anyone else?
What subjects concern or being a doctor? What subjects concern being a doctor?
Oh, okay. He would like, now I think this is it now, yeah. He wants to know the subjects that one has to do in your matric to be able to get the necessary points to be able to be admitted into university for medicine. The two most important subjects, I would assume, is still mathematics and mathematics number one, and physical science. So there you've heard it from the university itself. Mathematics, physical science. Any question? Right, the question is how many years does it take to become a doctor? Normally it takes 6 years to qualify for the degree, and then another 2 years to do what's known as housemanship, that is to work in the hospitals so that you can practice to examine people. Right? Right? The next question is, does a surgeon also do open surgery or other things? Yes, when you qualify as a surgeon, you qualify to do many things that involve rearranging the anatomy. So you can cut, you can realign fractures, you can do many things that don't only involve opening the patient. But most surgeons' job is to cut and to see where the problem is. So there we are. We have finished your questions, and I think I also have come to the conclusion of my talk. But one thing that I have to do before I leave is to tell you guys, I know that you face many, many problems in trying, number one, to pass, and number two, to get the type of points that are necessary to get admitted into the health sciences. The problems vary from so many things: money, problems at home, conflict at home, just access to even things like lights and so on, load shedding. But one point of encouragement that I must give is that if you persist, if you press, and if that day comes and you are admitted into the health sciences, it's an achievement for life. So in spite of the drugs, in spite of the alcohol, we're talking about those things, in spite of the people that are running around trying to discourage you from reaching your goals, press on. And the university, and particularly SMU, the people that you heard today, are people that will welcome you with open arms, and any questions that you need to ask, they've got a website which you can visit and where you can see what you have to do to be able to get into these types of courses. Remember, it's not only medicine, it's nursing, it's dentistry, lots of health science things that you can get involved in. Thank you for giving me your ear. And I'm surprised that there's such a big number of young people who are interested in this type of exposure. Thank you.
Dr. McKenna, thank you for sharing the day with us. As a token of gratitude for the wise words that you have given to us, we'd just like to share with you this gift for us. Thank you, Dr. McKenna. Let me just, I'm getting off the stage now. Doctors, how does it feel to be a doctor? Beautiful. Can I just say to you, you saw how many of your fellow doctors came forward to try and get some answers from Dr. McKenna. Please just remember, it's not about the constraints, it's just about us keeping our time. But please, you saw how much Dr. McKenna loves young people. You've heard about how he's committed to the community. You've heard how he asked you to come forward so that you can answer his questions. Don't go to Dr. McKenna only when you are sick. Dr. McKenna would like to hear from you. Ask your parents, Mama, Papa, Daddy, can you take me to Dr. McKenna? I'm not sick, but I want him to tell me how I can further my studies, how I can get into medical school. He's a role model for all of us here. So please don't let it wait until you are ill. He's open to you and you welcome you. So, Dr. McKenna, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Let's give him another round of applause. Now we come to, I like to call it phases. My wife is from Eersterust, my family is in Eersterust. I love Eersterust, but I'm from Lesotho, but I love Eersterust. But what I learned about Eersterust is there are phases in everything. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. I've got used to the word phase 1. You don't have to wait for phase 1 when you're going to church. But we have moved to phase 3. And phase 3 is about fun and games. All the glittering stuff that's around us. And so from now, I head over to our program organizer, the person that I look up to, the person who's my young but role model. Dr. Gavenda, over to you.
Okay, ladies and gents, we are almost done. So as you can see, around the hall we have various games which you can go and participate and win lots of fun prizes. But before we get there, just one last thing that we'd like to wrap up is the thank yous to all our sponsors. So I want to call on Dr. Diana Pillay.
Okay, so before I do the thanks to our sponsors, I'm just going to call Cynthia James from First Light Foundation that's just going to give you a little bit background what this foundation is about, and then I will do the thanks to our sponsors.
Hello, girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen. We just want to say thank you to the Sefako Mokgatu Health Sciences University for allowing us to be part of your Anatomy Day today. And I'd like to share with you on First Light Foundation and what we actually do. So First Light Foundation, changing the lives of women and girls through affordable, disposable sanitary pads. We empower, educate young women in the disadvantaged communities and rural areas with sanitary pads. These are our pads that we provide for them. We will be giving out as prizes today to you girls and to the girls. We will be giving out as prizes today to you girls and to the girls that are here. And we just want to say thank you. Let me tell you how the Taiwanese of First Light Foundation is our Dr.
So before we do that, I just want to firstly thank our sponsors. I'd like to thank First Light Foundation, Cynthia James, for her sponsorship of the sanitary pads.
To really work on it, because for me, I also come from a very humble family, and through education, I could be posted abroad and work in South Africa. And number two, I'm from Taiwan, and Taiwan is a country that has really good, it doesn't do kung fu at all. But Taiwan is a very small country, but we're very close to South Africa because we are freedom loving and we are a democracy. And you'll feel like home if you come to Taiwan. So I do encourage you to pursue your education either with SMU or any other university in South Africa and come visit Taiwan in the future. Thank you.
Okay, I also would like to thank the following sponsors: Primal Pictures, that you'll see they have sponsored some of the gifts that will be played in the games that you'll get. Milky Hollows and Eersterust Pick and Pay for the sponsors of cool drinks and snacks that will be given to you guys later on in the day. So thank you everyone, and I hope you enjoy yourselves as you walk around and play the games with us.
Okay, ladies and gents, we are done. So every table has a different game at, so please, you guys are welcome to go to a table, learn about the activities, and have fun. Oh, please just hold on.
Listen here, guys. Thank you. To our visitors and the people that are doing the expo here today, on behalf of the schools that are present, the principals, the staff, the SMT, the learners, the parents, the community, I'd like to say thank you very much. Dr. Greg, you told me your name 3 times, now I know who you are, and you know who I am. Thank you very much, guys, that are here present today to give our children the opportunity to see what you are really about. And I hope as you go around from to the different stalls and points, learners, that you ask questions and show interest and just enjoy the day and take in as much as you can. Thank you very much, guys, for organizing this and making it possible for our learners to be able to one day decide to become either a doctor, a dentist, whatever, physiotherapist, whatever it is that you are showing us here today. Thank you very much.